Hello Nigerians, a new sheriff is in town by the name of President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, and he has hit the ground running, in his own words, with the very first policy statement that has been made that has sent shockwaves down the spine of the Nigerian economy. Removal of fuel subsidy. That's no longer news. How are you coping at your end? You were buying fuel for 200 and something naira per liter. Now you are going to be paying over 500 naira per liter for the same product. What that means is that inflation is coming upon the economy. First of all, what is fuel subsidy? The federal government has always doled out billions of naira to subsidize the cost of bringing in fuel that is refined abroad, and that means to make it easy for retail consumers to be able to buy and use them at an affordable cost. Now, that much money that the government is putting in to reduce the cost is now going to be terminated. That means they are stopping subsidizing of fuel. What that means is that you are now going to be paying the direct cost of whatever it is that is being brought out. And the NNPC has announced various pump prices for various locations in the country. And what that means is inflation, like I said. What is inflation? Inflation simply means the cost of the rate of increase of goods and services, the cost of these items. For instance, you used to buy a loaf of bread for 450 last year, you are buying it for 1,000 naira now. Now, from this moment, because of the increase in the fuel prices, which will affect goods and services, you are going to pay even much more than you are paying right now. How does that affect the economy? First of all, small businesses, which are the backbone of the Nigerian economy, depend largely on fuel power generators, and the expenses for powering their generators and therefore carrying on with their businesses is suddenly going to increase by this increase in fuel prices. Manufacturers of all kinds of items, including electronic items and foreign goods that are imported into the country, they are going to also experience increase in their prices because the cost of transporting those things or powering the manufacturing plants will increase by reason of these increases. Also, the cost of food items are going to increase because transportation is expended in making sure that they move from the farmlands onto the cities and into the markets. Now, that increase in the cost of transportation is going to be spread on these foodstuffs, meaning food items will also increase. So let's brace up for the reality before us that inflation is coming at an even faster pace. Now, how do you go about adjusting to these realities before us? Because the truth is, all three presidential candidates during the elections mentioned that they were going to terminate fuel subsidy, and that's because allegations were making the rounds that the fuel that the government was subsidizing for this country was eventually being smuggled out to West African countries and other neighboring countries and sold for cheaper than it is. And so the government can no longer fund such a venture. So what do you do to cope with this? I can tell you a few things. One thing you will notice is less cars on the road, including in traffic-infested cities. You will suddenly begin to experience low traffic. Then you will also notice that it becomes difficult to go to work, commuting to work and back, because cost of transportation has increased. So how do you cope with this? Number one, find a way to minimize your expenses as much as possible, because you will now need more money, and if you are not earning more, then you have to fund your trips to and fro work on a daily basis. Number two, in the course of trying to save costs, most of your short trips is better now to embark on them by foot, so you save yourself unnecessary transportation. Both services are going to increase, all right? Uber is going to be much more expensive right now because they have to find a way to spread the extra cost of buying petrol to power their vehicles. All right. Now, for those of you who use generating sets at home, if you can afford it, this is the time to make alternative arrangements through clean energy. So go for inverters and solar panels to provide electric power for you, so you can forever reduce the cost of powering your petrol power generating plants. And then, of course, other ways that you can deal with situations like this is to inflate your income. And this is where we come in. Now, in the stock market, like I always tell our followers, there are many ways to make money out of very difficult economic situations. For instance, now that there is increase in pump prices of petrol, I have already made recommendations as at yesterday in our WhatsApp group for people to start buying stocks of petroleum marketing companies. We have very good one among them that are being sold, and of course they are now gaining a lot in share prices. That's because they will make so much money, and of course only shareholders of those companies will benefit. You don't go ahead complaining over what you have no control of. What you should do is to find what you can do about it and then take advantage of the opportunities that it presents. So stocks like Total, one of the best run petroleum marketing companies that is listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, they are there for you to buy. The stocks of Total, corn oil, MROS, Etana oil. All of these stocks are already making maximum gains on a daily basis since yesterday when I made those recommendations. You want to know how to deal with this to inflate your income and benefit from the bumper packages of both capital appreciation and dividends that will be paid as the companies continue to make money. Then you have to hit the like button, follow me, and also tap on the link on my bio so you can join our WhatsApp group where we share ideas on how to invest for yourself and benefit from the stock market.